This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Driving. Welcome you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy. And the Reggie boy to end the month of May is a baseball manager, a current manager for the LA Dodgers. But he had some decent work in baseball as a player and was part of the famous 2004 Red Sox team that shocked the world by coming back from 3-0 down against the Yankees to win the ALCS and then win in the World Series in a sweep against the Cardinals. He played for 5 teams over a 10-year career and was named Dodger manager in 2016, where he has been since, and he has won a World Series. So he's done pretty well for himself. He's the first manager of Asian heritage to lead a team to the World Series and to win it. So this is big. And it is the end of Asian Appreciation Month. So anyway, it is Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts is now 52 years old. He was born in Naha on the island of Okinawa in Japan, which had a lot of U.S. stationed people in Japan. Okinawa. Anyway, his father was a U.S. Marine stationed in Japan where he met Ayoko, who was Robert's mother, in Japanese. Robert has a younger sister, Melissa. His childhood was spent moving from one military base to another within 2 to 3 year sequences. He went to Okinawa, then to California, Okinawa, North Carolina, Hawaii, and back to California. So he was a good baseball player for Rancho Buena Vista High School by San Diego. He was a pretty good quarterback, though, too. The Air Force Academy figured he would be a good option quarterback, but declined because he wanted to play baseball. So he went to UCLA to join their baseball team as a walk-on outfielder. He did pretty well, stealing bases as a sophomore and a junior. Cleveland decided to draft him in the 47th round of the 93 draft. He was upset by that, being drafted so low behind 7 other UCLA players. But his coach told him he needed to improve his defense, and his weak formula was hurting his draft stock. So he did much better, 45 steals. He ended up being UCLA's stolen base leader all time and a Bachelor of Arts degree in history in 95. He got better. Detroit signed him in the 28th round of the 94 draft and signed him. So he went through the Detroit system and all that. He was assigned to a California League team in 96 and was so upset he thought about quitting baseball, but his father talked him out of it. He did pretty well with 65 stolen bases and then went to Double-A to Jacksonville and remained at Jacksonville and all that. So in 98, Detroit traded him to Cleveland for Geronimo Roa. So Roberts was in the Severn League All-Star game, even though Cleveland didn't have a team in the Severn League. But regardless, he was promoted to AAA late in the 98 season and helped the Bisons go to the AAA World Series, which means it didn't happen. But anyway, he knew he was close to the big leagues. And then he went to the Mexican League to get some influence. And then, he went to Puerto Rico too. The funny thing about it was that in Puerto Rico, he played with Alex Cora, not realizing that he was going to be facing Alex Cora in the 2018 World Series as opposing managers. Anyway, he was assigned to AAA to start the 99 season. And then the Indians purchased his contract and all that. He would go 3 for 5 in his debut playing center field for Cleveland and stole a base. His first home run was off of Ramon Ortiz of the Angels. He appeared in 2 games of the 99 ALDS, going 0 for 3. He went back to Buffalo in the minors and did okay, and then was a late call-up in September. Unfortunately, though, he had a torn labrum in his shoulder and had to miss some time. All that. He made some good steals and all that. In parts of 3 seasons with Cleveland, he would only hit 242 in 75 games. Then he was traded to the Dodgers for a pair of minor leaguers. He made the Dodgers roster 2002 and was the leadoff hitter and center fielder. He would have a 277 batting average with 45 stolen bases. Roberts had only had 107 games because of hamstring problems, but got 42 steals. So he was stealing bases. And then the Dodgers would trade Roberts to Boston for a minor league outfielder. Played 45 games for them and hit 256. Roberts made a large contribution to the Red Sox postseason stuff, even though he wasn't in the World Series. In Game 4 of the ALCS, after a walk by Kevin Millar from Mo Rivera, they yanked him for Roberts to be a pinch runner, with Bill Miller hitting. Rivera decided to try to pick off Roberts 3 times, but failed. On his first official pitch to Miller, Roberts stole second, barely beating the throw. And then Miller hit a single. Roberts scored from second to tie the game, Game 4. And then the Red Sox won in 12 innings thanks to Big Papi's home run, helping the Red Sox win 8 straight games on their way to the World Series. But he was not long for Boston as they traded him to San Diego for Jay Payton and a few other players. So Jay Payton hit a 275 with 115 games and moved to left field when Mike Cameron was coming in. So Roberts went from center field to left field. He put up 49 steals to be a career high. He did quite well for the Padres in the playoffs in 06, but they were eliminated by the Cardinals. Then he was signed with San Francisco. The Giants tried to find a center fielder. They wanted Gary Matthews Jr. and they wanted Juan Pierre, but they failed to get them. So Roberts signed a 3-year, $18 million deal to the Giants. Unfortunately, injury would hurt him, and he was back 260 with 114 games of 31 stolen bases. The Giants decided to release him in 09, and that was practically the last he played in the major leagues. He would retire from baseball in May 2009 and joined NESN as a studio analyst and color commentator for Red Sox games. He would leave NESN to join the Padres as a baseball operations special assistant. So anyway, he was made to be the first base coach for the Padres in October 2010. And he was made to be the bench coach for the 2014 campaign, which is basically the assistant manager. So anyway, he did that, and then the Dodgers decided to take a chance on him and named him his manager in November 2015, becoming the first minority manager ever in Dodgers history. Unfortunately, though, the Dodgers would place 28 players on the disabled list throughout the season, which was terrible. Despite all that, strange as it sounded, the Dodgers actually went to the NLCS against the Cubs. They lost in 6, but it was huge and all that. He was named the Sporting News National League Manager of the Year for his efforts. And in 2017, he helped the Dodgers make the playoffs, getting to the World Series, becoming the first manager of Asian heritage ever and the 4th African American manager to make it to the World Series. The Dodgers would face the Astros in a clinical 2017 World Series in which Houston won Game 7 on the road in LA. Can't forget that 12-11 game Houston played. Of course, it was later determined that the Astros illegally stole signs during the 2017 regular season and postseason. And of course, you can't take away a title in the big leagues, big 4 leagues. It's never been done. The Dodgers in 2018 won the NL West and beat Milwaukee in another classic in LCS in 7 games. So Roberts would face Boston, the team that he won the World Series with, as a player. and former Dodgers teammate Alex Cora, who was the manager. Boston won the series in 5, only losing that famous 18-inning game. And LA had momentum in Game 4, but blew it. So anyway, another loss for the Dodgers. However, the Dodgers gave him a 4-year contract extension. They put up 106 wins, which was a franchise record, but somehow lost to Washington in the NLDS in 5 games, who had that grand slam by, I would say Howie Kendrick, but I'm probably wrong. I think it was Michael Taylor. Or no, I can't remember who had that grand slam. But the fact of the matter was that Washington used that momentum to win the World Series. Yuck. Anyway, Roberts would lead the Dodgers to the playoffs. Of course, COVID-19 kind of ruined the season, so they had to have wild card series and of 8 teams in the playoffs. All that. The Dodgers actually were down 3-1 to the Braves in the 2020 NLCS, but shocked the world by winning the next 3 games. And then they would face Tampa in 6 games in the 2020 World Series, becoming the first manager of Asian heritage to win the World Series and the first African American manager of a World Series team since Cito Gaston, who went back to back for the Jays in 1993. So anyway, in 2022, they put up 111 wins, which was very good and all that. Well, they had a 100-win season in 2021, but failed to make the World Series. The Dodgers shockingly lost the NLDS to the Padres in 2022, making them the most wins of a team to fail to win a postseason series in the division era. A lot of people remember Seattle having 116 wins in 2001 and not going to the World Series, but they did win their LDS matchup, so they did all that. They put up 100 wins in the 2023 season, but lost to the Diamondbacks, who shocked a lot of people. It's weird how the Dodgers can just get to 100 wins, but they've only given Roberts 1 World Series in his career as a manager. In the regular season, as of right now, he has 786 wins as Dodgers manager, which is pretty good. In the postseason, he's 45-39, but have had 2 World Series losses, 2 NLCS losses, and 3 NLDS losses. He has actually not failed to make the playoffs. Every year he's been a Dodger manager. They've been in the playoffs. Anyway, he's married his high school girlfriend and having 2 children. His son Cole is in the Arizona minor league system. Dave Roberts actually had Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2010, but because of treatments, he got a clean bill of health in 2011. He is a Christian and talks about how God has given him eternal life and all that. But yeah, Dave Roberts is a fantastic guy, not just for helping the Dodgers do so well in the postseason, getting to the postseason and winning a World Series, but the fact of the matter is he was an integral part of the 2004 Red Sox as a player. And that steal will never be forgotten. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond.